Hi everybody and welcome back. Oh, this is kind of crooked. Whoops. Oops, that's even worse. But what do I know? I keep forgetting to reintroduce myself at the start of every video, so if this is your first time at my channel, I'm Azaria. This is my place. I have a sign that normally is supposed to be here, but I still not put it up because life, you know? There's Kronk. Hi guys and welcome back to Azaria's Place, or welcome to Azaria's Place. Today I'm doing another Disney bracket. I talk about Disney and theater every Thursday alternating, and every Saturday I have a Sim Saturday. So today is a Disney week. I try to coordinate my shirts with what I'm talking about. So today we are doing a Disney Dudes bracket, and I decided to wear my Disney Prince plus Kronk and Hercules shirt for today. So I've technically already done this bracket, but I think I want to do it again with some actual rhyme and reason. I think that my bracket that I did was mostly based on looks and not so much personality, so I wanted to do a video just kind of talking out my choices. So I think this is going to be a two-part video, so look out for the second part in 2 weeks and you'll figure out who wins my Disney Dudes bracket, and I'll also attach a link so that you can access this photo if you want to do it yourself. We're gonna get started with the video. First is Flynn Rider versus Aladdin. This is really hard. If you've watched any of my previous Disney episodes, you should know by now how much I love Aladdin. And I like Flynn a lot. And I think that this is a pretty easy choice for me. If I think about the two characters, who would I pick over one another? I think I'd still pick Aladdin for personal preferences. But even looking at the characters, I think that they're similar. You know, thieves. They both show their princesses the world. They are very similar characters when you think about them. If I was picking based on solely looks, I might pick Flynn Rider. But if you had to look at Flynn Rider, on my shirt, for example, I wouldn't pick this Flynn Rider. This just doesn't even look like him. Is it just me? But yeah, but I think even at the end of the day, with all of the comparisons being said, I think I'd pick Aladdin regardless. And he's classic. Prince Eric versus Prince Naveen. These are hard ones because I think, again, if I was going based on looks, I probably would, I don't know. Naveen has a very interesting look to him. I do like him, but I think that I think the first time I was doing this, I was really just bringing it back to Eric's eyes. He has these beautiful blue eyes, and I like Eric for that reason. But I think that also Naveen has had a really poor attitude from the jump, and I do like that he does change eventually into a better human being. But I think that we see that Eric is kind of a softie. He likes dogs. He's just everything. So I'm gonna go with Eric. Li Shang and Philip. So this was a hard one because this is when I started to notice myself being more focused on looks than on personalities, because I mean, Philip, he meets a girl randomly in the woods and just sings with her. They only had one interaction. He finds out that she was cursed, kisses her, wakes her up, then they live happily ever after, you know? So if you look at his track record and his history with his princess, it does look kind of weird. It looks a little suspicious. And Shang, I mean, pretty good guy. He thought that Ping was his pal, you know? But then he was like, ooh, Mulan. And then she saved China, you know? She's pretty cool. But I think even if I was going, I think I'd rather have Philip's weird track record with women than Shang still. I don't know. I do remember being devastated though with Mulan 2 when I thought Shang was dead. Up next is Snow White's prince versus Prince Charming, and I just feel like we all know there's no debate here. And I think it's also the same thing of the issue with he meets her one time at a well, they sing a little bit, and then the next time he sees her again, he's kissing her to wake her up. I could write a book though on how much I don't like Prince Charming, really, I guess, because I just don't understand how you can dance with a girl all night and not ask her name. That just doesn't sit right with my spirit. I can almost get past the guy showing up at the well and just starting to sing. I can almost get past that. But you dance with her all night and you want to marry this girl, but you don't know her name. You don't even know her last name so that you can change it to yours. Just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. I don't get it, but I would still pick Prince Charming. He doesn't have a lot of traits. I don't think you really get to know Prince Charming until Cinderella 3: A Twist in Time, and you get to kind of know what he's about, but he's kind of brainwashed, partially through the movie too, so but I think I'd still pick him. He's not gonna last long in this, but I'll pick him. Kocoum or John Smith? We don't know Kocoum very well in the film. Like, we get that he's kind of protective of Pocahontas because he's going to marry her, and he's protective of, you know, his tribe. But I think that that's really all we know about him, is that he's like a cool war leader and he's gonna marry Pocahontas. That's really all we know. But John Smith, he has these nice, like, luscious locks, and he sings pretty. I'm gonna go with John Smith. As I mentioned earlier, I did already do this bracket, but I wanted to see if anything would change with me talking it out on my channel. Tarzan versus Hercules. I mean, I like Hercules, but I mean, yeah. Tarzan's not on this, so I get a little sad because it has Hercules and Kronk on here, but not Tarzan. It's confusing to me, but I don't know. I think that he's just like, he's a family guy. He's pretty sweet. Hercules just, like, the whole movie just wants to get back to Mount Olympus. And then at the end of the movie, like, he chooses love, which, like, that's cool too. And I think it's kind of the same thing with Tarzan. I think I can see the similarities here, you know? Tarzan, the whole movie he really just wants his family. He wants Kerchak's acceptance the entire movie, really. And at the end, love chooses him. I like that he wanted to have a home. Like, kind of like Hercules, he wanted to be home and accepted in his own home. But I think I would still pick Tarzan. I don't know how that really does anything for anybody, but I like Tarzan a lot. Oh, I don't know why my text box got weird. Just think that also, if we're going off looks, I probably think I'd still pick Tarzan. Tarzan just seems like such a nurturing person. Like I said, I think that Hercules is more about being, like, this strong guy who wants to get back home to Mount Olympus. And, like, he's got some redeeming qualities. He does do a lot for the people, but he's doing it so that he can prove himself to be a true hero and go home. Alright, I thought this next one was really interesting, to have Milo Thatch versus Tadashi Hamada, which I guess, now that I'm talking about it out loud on the channel, I can see the similarities that they kind of put these people together. Obviously, John Smith versus Kocoum, that's within the film. And then you've got similar type of characters in Aladdin and Flynn Rider, which I think is really interesting. Milo and Tadashi are both intellectuals. They're different. Tadashi Hamada, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but we don't really get to see him too long. But there's been that meme going around that's like, Tadashi Hamada is like the most boyfriend material Disney character out there, and I can get behind that. He wants to help people. I love Tadashi, and I do like Milo. I think Milo's like quirky and nerdy, and he's like a kind of different kind of nerd. I feel like Tadashi Hamada's like the cool, really popular nerd. Yeah, but also it's weird because the animation's very different. So even if I was going on like attractiveness, which I just realized I'm talking about cartoons right now, so that's kind of weird. It took me like 15 minutes to realize that these are all not real people. They're both very passionate about their work, you know? And they both end up having really good success in their work. I think I have to go with Tadashi. I just like the movie a lot. But I think also Tadashi, really great human being, really cares about people, and I think that we see that in Milo as well. I would say that Milo is also a really great character, but Tadashi Hamada is it for me. Alright, Roger Radcliffe versus David Kowina, which is a very interesting comparison. I'm trying to think about these ones and think how these two people could even compare, and I really don't know how I would compare these two together. If I was going on just personalities, I'd probably pick David, because the whole movie, he's like always doing things for Nani, even though they're not even dating. Like, we know that David likes Nani. We know that. But Nani's got a lot going on, but David is just like, I think he does things because he genuinely cares about her, not just because he wants to date her, but also because he genuinely, like, is fine with being her friend on some level. So I think that David's a stand-up guy. Also, Roger, like, likes music. He's a pretty cool guy. I like Roger. I think my first time doing this, I picked Roger, but if I was going on, like, who is the best personality-wise, 'cause I kind of have done that, except for maybe Shang and Philip. But I think I have to go with David. We're gonna do the other side. This is why I think I was going partially on, like, attractiveness, because they have Beast versus Adam, right? Same person. One's just cursed. I think I'm the only person who I've told about this bracket thus far who has picked Adam, and I'm okay with that. And I think, again, it's because of his blue eyes. That's really it. That's all I have to say about that one. Moving on. Riley's dad versus King Triton. Now, this one just entertains me. This side, you're in for a treat. It's hilarious, the things that are on this side. So Riley's dad is from Inside Out, and King Triton is from The Little Mermaid. I think that Riley's dad is just kind of funny. And we're talking about like two dads here, and I think Triton is much older than Riley's dad. Plus, like, Triton like tries to ban music for a while. I mean, is that just in the prequel? I can't remember now. But yeah, he's just like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. And she's like, but daddy, I love him, you know? It's pretty dramatic stuff. Whereas like Riley's dad, I think that they have a really good relationship too with Riley. If you haven't seen Inside Out, also big recommend. I'm gonna pick Riley's dad just because I think it's funny. And also because I think that he also does genuinely care about his child. I think that King Triton does too, but I think that we see Riley's parents, not even just the dad, like at least try to listen to her. I know there's that one dinner scene where he's not really paying attention, but I think they try. They try their best. All right, this next one was really hard for me. I love both these characters very much. Really love Kristoff. It hurts. It hurts me really bad, but they're also both really good guys. Kristoff, you know, he also really likes Anna, but he's willing to walk away so that she can have what she thinks she wants in Hans. Phoebus also, like, helps Esmeralda and Quasimodo. We see him also helping her early in the film when he tells her to claim sanctuary, when, you know, he tells the Achilles his horse to heal and sits on the soldier. I think that we see that both of them really care about their love interest. But it's so hard for me because I, like, love them both so much. I love Hunchback more than I love Frozen, as in the movie. And even the musical, I would say that I love Hunchback the musical more than I like Frozen the musical. I said more nice things about Phoebus today. I think the last time I did this I picked Kristoff, but I feel like I said more nice things about Phoebus. So I'm gonna go with Phoebus, and I might regret that later, but that's what we're gonna go with. Yeah, let's just say we did and move on. Okay, so up next, Prince Hans versus Gaston. And honestly, they're both pretty awful. I mean, I think what makes this conversation end for me is just one line from Hans, and that's when he said, if only there was someone who loved you. And I think that is the most cold-hearted thing you could say to anybody. Gaston could do anything else. He could try to kill the beast. I don't even care. I think that is the worst thing anyone can ever tell anybody, is that, like, no one loves you. Like, that's awful. That's awful. That's awful. We don't want that. Now, this is when it starts getting kind of ridiculous. So we have Bambi's dad. Yeah, that's on here. Bambi's dad versus Scar. And, I mean, like, we don't really see Bambi's dad at all in the first movie, and we have Bambi too. I don't think I have enough to go on, so I'm gonna pick Scar. I know that Scar is also, like, a lot of people's favorite Disney villain. Alright, this next one's very funny. I knew immediately what this was, and it made me laugh. And this hot tiger is from Zootopia. We don't see anything else regarding this tiger in this film, except for that one scene on the bus. We know a lot about Mufasa. We know Mufasa's a stand-up guy. We know he's king of Pride Rock. We know that he cares about his kid. Rest in peace. Alright, we're moving on. Simba versus Robin Hood, which for me it's not really a hard choice. Simba. It's Simba. It's Simba. I know he, like, leaves his family, but it's because he thought he killed his dad, so I understand wanting to take a break from that environment and just pretending like you're dead also. I get it. I get it. But he comes back, and then he eventually saves them from everything that's going on, so I don't even mind. I don't even mind. And then Buzz Lightyear versus Woody. I like a good natural-born leader sometimes, and I also know that I was really hurt by Toy Story 3 because of how much I loved Woody. He was going to take Woody to college. I can give you all my feelings about Toy Story 3 later in life. But I love Toy Story 4, and I know one of the things that I kept saying was because I felt like Woody would always be Andy's toy, and I just couldn't fathom him not being Andy's toy. So I know that has nothing to do with this. I love Woody. I'm just going to go with Woody. I think that he's a great leader. He always looks out for everybody. And there probably won't be a Toy Story 5, so we won't be seeing what he's doing now, but I do love Woody. I love that he's always trying to keep all the toys together. Alright, so I will save the next couple of rounds for a part 2 of this video, which I'm really excited about. I did do some different answers from the last time I did this, so I'm really intrigued to see who will win. But it's a Disney-themed episode, so that means you get a Disney fun fact with your Disney episode. Since today is all about Disney dudes, I decided to also make my fun facts about Disney dudes. I actually technically have 2 fun facts, because I feel like the first fun fact I'm going to say maybe common knowledge, and the other one's just like, oh, I never thought about it. So there you go. So the first Disney fun fact is that Aladdin actually did have a mother in the original draft of the film, but she was later cut. So there's actually a deleted song called Proud of Your Boy, which actually is now in the Broadway production of Aladdin, and it's basically a song to his mother and wanting to make her proud. So give it a listen. And then my other Disney fun fact is also about singing, and it's that Eric is the only official Disney prince who does not sing. There you have it. But he does sing in the Little Mermaid musical, which you could also give a listen to. Anyways, on to the show tune spotlight. So also, again, if you're new to my channel, I also do a show tune spotlight with every video because the arts are important and it's good to just bring awareness. So I pick a show tune that kind of revolves around my theme. Today, I decided to go with I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan because it has man in the title and we're talking about Disney men. And Mulan originally premiered in 1998 and its music and lyrics are by David Zippel and Matthew Wilder. So I'm sure you have seen Mulan, but if you haven't, give the original a look. There's also a sequel if you want to watch that, and there's also the remake, which I did give my thoughts on in a previous video. If you want to watch that, I'll link that below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in again next week for a theater-themed episode, and like I said, in 2 weeks I will do the second half of this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and be kind.